Good morning, welcome to Friday's Outlook. Let's get cracking looking at the news events first, potential risk into the market. We've already seen the Bank of Japan reporting, nothing to be added to that. They're not going to be doing anything at the moment. We've got FOMC speaker later at 12:45, and then consumer sentiment, inflation expectations coming out later. So 3 o'clock may be something, but not a lot else. Just going back a step then to yesterday and what happened there then. Just starting at the beginning then. We'd already seen the Aussie data coming out positively there. Euro figure came out as expected, a further 0.25%. The chat that went with the update there was that further increases will be coming out, so no stalling even, I've just read. So more to come for the euro. US wise, some decent figures coming through in the afternoon there, 130, so a bit of a mixed bag there. Unemployment claims were up a tad. Again, these weekly employment claims are being watched a little bit carefully, but really it's down to the press conference and everything else, the movement there. So where to today then? Is the point. So we've gone out of the bear flag territory. It never really broke down on the dailies. I was just looking at it. It's a lovely little bear flag that's sort of shaping up there. Well, now it's completely broken through yesterday. Has it got more upside potential? Well, of course. However, is it going to push it in there? Well, things have slowed up and we're in this sort of divergence territory at the moment. We'll have sellers coming into the market for sure because it's pushing upwards. That's the way it goes for the retail market. We have an untouched daily pivot. Maybe a break of the low between the two highs would give an opportunity for that, for an entry for that short side. It's just messy where it is. I'd rather be on the long side. I'd rather a nice clean retrace to be able to run off of it. We'll see what develops. It's not the best market out there to be necessarily trading at the moment. The pound has really just followed suit. The pound has actually taken out its more recent highs, the May highs, and pushed up and is well and truly solid at the moment. And there's a certain expectation for further rate increases to be coming through solidly. Again, similar picture to the euro here. We've got the divergence across the highs here, and an untouched pivot below. However, we could just see both these markets pushing on, in which case I'd be looking for the R1 to be broken into the R2 potentially. This one's a little bit far away at the moment. The euro might be similarly a long way away. We'll see what develops of this morning. I'll look at the continuation to the upside. Divergence or no divergence. Okay, dollar yen. Dollar yen, well, the yen's just continued to soften there. This morning the data's not really anything but soft, and well, it's in this big bullish engulfing 4-hourly there, and it's looking positive to the upside right the way through. So I think the yen's on its I say downward show there. The dollar's on its upward run across against the yen. Aussie dollar, well, the Aussie dollar caught on with everything else. Weakness in the US dollar relatively overall, and we've seen this sort of push up. I mean, I guess it's inevitable when we're sort of seeing the likes of the US slowing and pausing rates and other countries still increasing rates, that we all see this sort of variation. One sort of has already done most of its gains potentially. Others have still got some to do, so they're sort of catching up a little bit here. Obviously no exception the way it's running at the moment. It's been the most dovish of central banks at times, but again, same old price action here around the highs. Might be a bit of the softer one if it does go to the downside, but same. US dollar CAD, you've got an inverted price action. Let's go and just have a look at what's actually happened here though. Important thing, we've eventually broken and closed properly below the yearly pivot there, so it's the first time it's really pushed on and broken through that now, so it's looking a little bit more bearish for the US dollar against the CAD. Solid old movement yesterday. We're now in this sort of consolidation phase, and again, it didn't actually quite diverge there. It's not come down quite so low. Be interesting if this breaks back to the upside and pushes up. We might just see this sort of retracement, a bit of profit taking. As I said, with divergences in some of these markets, it might just see the dollar being bought a little. Could be the absolute tops and bottoms. I wouldn't bet on that though. Euro yen. So Euro yen pushing up even further. This is putting squeeze on all those retail traders that are still sitting there in their short positions. They piled back into them. 82% was short yesterday when I looked on this market, and it does make you wonder. That's all I can say. Let's just have a quick look at the moment where just log this in. IG. It's now 84% short, near enough 84% a short against the market that's running. At some stage they get there right. It's that all the stages they're not. I've been talking about this time and time again. Why do you do it? Anyway, be the first one to be short. Anyway. This is pushing up. There's nothing at the moment for me here. It's gone up. Whereas the others have put in divergences in, this is where it's just broken through and continuing. Difficult-ish one. It hasn't hit the pivot. We'll see. It might pull off a little bit here and then take the next push up there. Give me a ride up to the R2. Quick look at Euro yen. That's not really doing a great. Sorry, Euro pound even. It's not doing a great deal. The pound has been the stronger of the two largely, but yesterday the euro had its moment, but it's soon rolled back again. Not particularly looking fantastic. A little bit longer before I get my spending money. Okay, Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie, yeah, Euro not really cutting it against some of these other majors at the moment. You're looking at where it is today. It's ugly. Let's not look at that one. Euro CAD, it's ugly as well. Actually, it's not particularly the prettiest market here. The euro has managed to make some gains over the last week or so, but I was waiting to see if it pops back southbound again. But at the moment, it's no man's land really for me in today. Overall, it's got this sort of slight bias to the upside, and the big sort of bear flag that would appeared on the bigger time frame. There we go. This big bear flag here doesn't look like it's going to happen. But to be fair, it had the flagpole itself is not the cleanest, so maybe we've got more upside there. But nothing that's setting up for me quite yet. We'll see what happens here, because if we get a retest, it doesn't really matter, of the lows here into the pivot. That'd be quite nice, but I'm really looking at drawing a trend line across the current highs here. Trading it similar to a flag. It's already caught the pivot, but so it hasn't got a lot of distance technically or statistically to run. Other pairs, well, the pound Aussie and pound CAD, not really shining too much. Pound CAD's a bit cleaner, but it's already gone. Aussie CAD, this is just continuing to push up this week. Nothing much there as well. Aussie New Zealand is often a pair that can favour some trades, but I'm just looking, it's certainly gained yesterday, but it's around its previous highs here. It could get another kicker to push on further. You see where it is from the dailies here. It could just kick on. Yeah, from a Friday's perspective, I mean, even Monday I'd be looking at this thinking, well, yeah, we've got the potential of a swing. We've got to sit through this over the weekend, and as a pair, I'm not really keen to do that. So we'll leave that for now. Okay, so not a great deal. We've got a bit of waiting to do this morning to see how these set up, if they set up and give us opportunities. Right, that's the currencies. Let's have a quick look. Morning, Michael. At the price of gold, what's happening there? Seen some retracement there. So question, really, it broke its key low area here. Was it just a fake out? Where it appears that way at the moment, but it's not the most convincing market at the moment. And you look at it on over the last couple of weeks at how choppy it is. Yeah, maybe if it breaks back above the highs here, it'll prove in its that was just purely a fake into the quarterly pivot there. It's just finding a bit of support, so that's held it at the moment. Just looking at it, what time did it actually do that? Yeah, it's 1 o'clock when it actually hit those lows there, turned around, and then with the dollar being sold effectively. Again, it's got on the shorter time frame here, it's got sort of some divergences, probably a double divergence. Have a look on the RSI, it's probably double divergence. Yep, some marginal divergence sitting there on the MACD. So it's got the divergence sitting above them, but I wouldn't bet against the strength of this market at the moment. It looks like it's got some further upside, even if it's not very far, but could be played back up to the previous highs. The real test for gold is if it can push back above that monthly pivot. Oil picked up, weaker dollar, commodities pick up. Generally, we've seen gold, seeing oil doing the same sort of thing here. Higher low on this time frame. Consolidation again around the highs here. If we start seeing it pushing up this morning or into the early afternoon, this could be potential to continue riding these up. Okay, indices. The indices have had a good time. AI seems to be leading the way largely across the main markets. Looking at the CSI 300, really turning now. It's structurally changed after that double bottom. Even we've broken there. I've been remaining bearish up until recently, and now I'm looking at this and thinking, well, maybe. Sorry, there we go. I'm looking at the 4 hourlies here. Let's get back to dailies. Maybe it's going to turn around a little bit more now. I was liking it when it was running into its pivot there, but now it's pushed on upwards. Well, it could catch the ride from these other markets. The Nikkei, low interest rates, it's perfect for the equity market, continuing to push up there today. The Nifty 50. It's coming off in its short term here, but a lot of these markets just settling a little maybe, but still very much in a bullish zone. Aussie 200, well, we've broken the trend line at last. We've seen the markets push through there. I don't know how much the equity market here is favoured by technology or whatever, but for sure it's certainly got a pitch up there. S&Ps, the minis, again, solid day yesterday, putting in sort of longer term highs. We need to go back onto the weekly charts now to see back in 2022, where were we, May to April time in 2022, since we've been to these levels, so quite some time back. Dow Jones starting to pick up a bit better. It's still lagging the other equity markets, but looking at what's going on here, the previous sort of ugly flag pattern, and it's pushing out. Looks very similar to the Aussie 200. This is the way this is pushed out, and the Aussie 200 may be doing a slow follow through on this, but this at the moment is looking, as I say, more positive. Nasdaq, well, there's no holding this back. It's we're in a AI run. Any company that's got big investment in AI and in the technology is seeing money running into it. It's instead of the fears of AI, it's actually seen as the greed of AI now. Saying earlier on, maybe AI is having a bit of a laugh here and seeing how much it can push the markets up and push these humans up before it does something. Okay, I mean, it could well, you've got to be careful, it could well be a bubble. If any regulation comes into AI or something like this, we could see some of those markets going off quite quickly. Anyway, but for now, let's not fight against the flow, eh? DAX, not massively moving too much yesterday. It's still sitting around these prior highs. If it can push on through today, maybe we could see a bit more of a continuation there. And the FTSE is so lagging everything. It's trying to do something, but I think the inevitable higher interest rates are probably pinning this back somewhat as well as anything else. And price of oil is not particularly pushing up too much. A lot of oil influence on the FTSE, just holding back at the moment. Okay, finally, let's have a quick look at the world of crypto. Morning in. Looking at the world of crypto then, and well, it would be good if I click on one of them. There we go. I was just thinking, well, that looks familiar. No doubt there. Still very much in the downtrend. Yes, it did have an update yesterday. It's already wanted to give some of that back. To me, it can't be too positive on it at the moment with the way it's running. I would have potentially expected something more yesterday with these moves, and Ethereum, really the smallest of moves here. Yes, these might turn. We may find some support here, but there's. I was looking at the gauge, the fear greed gauge, and it's certainly on fear mode at the moment. Now, with a softer dollar, you would expect something more coming through here. Bearing in mind these are all based on versus the dollar that I'm looking at. Consolidation around the lows here for chain link. I'm looking at a daily. I was just checking. Yeah, still looks soft there. Litecoin has, to a degree, in the short term, seen a little bit of a better gain. It's pushing up a bit this morning, but overall, still very bearish. These markets. Solano. Let's have a look there. Same picture, kicking through, and finally Ripple. Yep, still very soft there as well. So, yep, I don't hold out too much hope on the on crypto over the weekend, but you never know. But as I say, it's gone to that fearful mode with these, and well, it's hard to cheer them up. But I'm sure someone will try their best. Maybe we have an AI coin. That's what we need. Right. On that cheerful note, I wish you a great weekend, and I'll speak to you on Monday. Take care. Bye for now. Right. Roomies.